we all have this desire of wanting to live this kind of life for others or fulfill this role that you were set upon by the society or people around you, or just play this role well so that you get praised upon or you get recognized, and you feel like you can convince yourself that you lived a good life at the end. And I'm not saying this is wrong by any means, because I also am part of this. Like, built this kind some kind of an ideology or clumps of ideas, what I call myself, but my like better version of myself, so that I can keep on improving myself. And like while enjoying the moment, enjoying every moments when I feel like I'm being some kind of like I'm not being enough, whenever I'm not feeling like I'm being enough to myself, or to feel good about myself, to feel like I am not a less of a human if I'm not keep on moving. But of course, I will keep on seeking for more, since I want to see the version of myself but I built inside my head, which obviously isn't optimal, I'll say, but that's so far it has been the best way for me to live my life and build the things and develop the new skills or abilities that I have to accomplish and have to that I have to get in one day. And yeah, it's just been working great. So I wouldn't say like just trying to live for an ideology or trying to live for something is wrong particularly, but of course, unless when it gets to extreme, you just see people who are eaten by their own identities. And I would love to call it this way: we all might be, let's say we humans are books. We like some could be categorized, you could be categorized as a certain type of genre. Let's say I could be categorized just like I said so many times, like, even though you feel like you are going through something really special and unique, and you feel like there not a single soul in this earth who's going through the same thing, there, like, mind you, there are millions of people who's going through like with you at the same time on this earth, and maybe billions if we count all those people had gone like, people who had gone through that. But like what I'm trying to say is not like you're not special at all kind of things, but more like we can be seen, we can be categorized as the same way, but that doesn't mean those books, but like horror films are not all the same. Like every single films has their own characteristics, and it has own like backgrounds, yeah, how it was built, it was filmed, like what who directed it, and kind of dramas that was there that only those people who are related in the steps know. And all have those kind of like dynamics and ups and downs and stories and plots behind to a single film or book to be written or made. And I love when people have like when a person is so full of himself, like themselves. I don't mean by like someone who's being so narcissistic or who's just too full of himself. It's more like they know they have they are keep on seeking for a better version of themselves, but at the same time, they have themselves, they have self and self belief and confidence, and the kind of feeling of knowing what their true self is. So they choose this one path that will surely, slowly but surely, will build them into a better version of themselves in the future, because it's like what like they know why they finally recognize and fulfilled their self, like their identity, I would call it. So like but if like we see so many people who are desperate on trying to be part of something, but they are actually not. And I see so in like so many in, especially in religion or any kind of ism, like east, even atheists is one of it. Like there's so many people who don't even deserve the label, but they desperately claim to be part of that just because it sounds cool, or like most of the times it sounds cool, or they just feel like their belief is closer to that, but actually they don't even know, they haven't even questioned enough, question themselves and their beliefs enough to actually know what they believe in the first place, or to even know like what would fit in themselves. And also, like this raised me a very interesting question, or some kind of like ideas, is that when we group people in particular way, let's say like Christians or atheists, let's say, they all have their own, like even on the top of, let's say, on the like top 5%, 1% of atheists who know what they're saying, and who exactly understand the reasons why they are believing in that certain in that certain beliefs. Even among them, like they vary a lot, since in their worldview, like they had so many, like they had gone through this and this and that. That's why they ended up in that belief, because it works best for them. And also at the same time, that doesn't mean like I'm gonna bash that religion or that particular belief just because it kind of goes against my belief. And I found this while thinking about uh how I describe my, I'll say like in my head there are always like three me's, let's say, or three people, whichever may you may call it. One is me, who's actively in control or living my life, like physical body. Another one is like better version of myself, who's constantly looking at me, not looking down, but more like I'm always thinking about this, not perfect being, but more like perfect version of myself, which again I know, which actually I know I won't be able to fulfill. Like deep in my head, like I understand that this is just my illusion, like perfect doesn't exist, but I just have this idea that like this step, this pathway surely will make me better, make me a better person, better version of myself compared to me from yesterday, and that's like someone who accomplished everything that I'm thinking, that I'm working on right now, so like that's him, who's like a clump of ideas and my beliefs, who's constantly pushing me, who's constantly telling me what to do, and just like silently stares at me sometimes when I'm not being the version of myself that I should be, or when I'm not doing the things that I'm supposed to doing, that I'm supposed to do. And there's the last person or idea or belief is, I call it just universe, God, whichever. Like, but I most recently, I think it's just closer to a God, especially a Christian God. And I'm not saying I'm a Christian in any sense, since I just started reading Bibles and stuff like that. But I don't think I'm any closer to being a Christian, since I do not believe in any kind of those out like beyond science kind of things. I just do not understand in that sense. I can say like I don't understand. I do not know. I just simply do not know if science is the only way of understanding and learning about this world. And I don't know. I don't just do. I'm not buying in the kind of ideas of like someone actually loving us, or supernaturally, who's looking at us constantly, 24/7, and protecting us. I don't buy that at all. Like seriously, I just cannot believe it. I tried, but like I don't even know if that word is um what fits here, but like trying to believe something, but I just cannot. But I don't know, like it just fits so well and it comforts me, and it's like the kind of place where I can kind of rest, or where I can be just true about myself, and um who comforts me, I would say. And that's why I believe, let's just say that I turn myself into Christ, and I tell others that I'm a Christian. But at that exact moment, what happens is like people automatically put me an image, like tell me, put me a role, put me in a role that what usual Christians would do. And that's why I don't like stating my own beliefs, since it's just so complex. Like I don't understand how people do it, how others do it. Like how are you labeling yourself as that, since you're not even like are you actually, like I don't even know the actual intention of your question when you ask me like, what do you believe in a god, or like any sense, like it needs so many, like it's missing so many parts to be filled. So before I answer the question, so I would just simply say I don't know, and especially in this generation where I seriously don't think that I'll ever find someone, or that I'll be able to have like a solid conversation about this kind of stuffs, this kind of ideas and things that I used to that I talk about in YouTube videos. Like I'm not saying like I just want to talk about this kind of things, like this deep stuffs, and I don't want any daily basis kind of things. Not at all. Like I can be goofy. I can be, I can joke around my buddies, but at the same time, like when you try to like drag them into this kind of conversation, they'll go like, "Why are you being so serious?" Or like, I don't know. I just have this acquaintances or friends, let's say, um, in my junior high and high school. That's actually one of the reasons why I kind of gave up on seeking for actual friends, which doesn't even sound like real sometimes. Like, what do you mean you're seeking for a partner, or you're looking for a partner, or you're looking for a friend? Like, are you actually like moving out the town, your own town, and trying to meet more people? Is that what you're saying? Like, I don't know. Sometimes people say things, but if you just question a couple of times, like it just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know. Like, w- I really don't know, because like if this person doesn't click with you, then that's done. Then when you're trying, then does that mean you are trying to lower your standards and give like kind of like I don't know, like pull back your boundaries, so that you can know more about this person and see if you can kind of like date that person or like be a friend. I don't know, like it just never made sense for me. Maybe I'm just overthinking, but like back to the main context, my main topic. What I'm trying to say is like, so this is like me, my book, my plots and my stories are this and that, and that's why I came to this conclusion. But I kind of just am living in this state where I have to explain all this, and this with one version, or one of my beliefs, my core beliefs, closer to the closest is Christian God. So I may be a Christian, but I am not. I surely am not. Like I don't think I can submit to someone who's I can submit to like I cannot convince myself of believing into an idea, but I can submit to someone who's superior and higher above being, and live upon the rules that he tells me to. Like I'm not trying to sound like this is my body, my the kind of things like my life, I choose what I do. Of course you don't. Most of the times you'll just fail um very very badly. I'll say wonderful vocabulary, by the way. I'm trying to think of a word that I thought of before, but I couldn't come up with it. But anyways, so yeah, I just feel like people are just trying so hard to seem like one instead of actually be like one, and that's where it comes. What lands on trying to label yourself as someone. Like I'm sure 99% of dudes who they say like I want kids, like never actually thought of having kids at all, or like actually seriously saying it. Like I'm not talking about like those kind of cases, situations where you just get asked by a random person, or like you just say it, because that just makes you a better guy than those guys who say no. And you get what I mean. Like you just want the image of being a nice dude who wants a kid, and is ready to be a good father. And I don't know, like I don't even like, personally, I honestly don't even think that I'm even worth it of having a child at any age. Like even if I had like like I make a good amount of money, and I'm in the really good position. I mean, let's say like place of my period of my life where I can actually have a kid. Like I don't know, man. Like it's just too much. Like the burden is too much. Like what do you mean a whole world, like another version of me and my partner? I don't even have a partner, to be honest. Yeah, let's just not overthink about that matter. But yeah, that's just me. But I just feel like most of the times whenever I hear someone trying to proclaim as something, it immediately I immediately become suspicious and kind of raises so many questions inside my head. Like, like are you actually? I do not think so though. Like I don't know you, so maybe you are. But from my experience, from how people that I confronted talked back to me, and how shallow they were, like I don't think you are either. But we never know. We never know. We'll keep it fair. But yeah, like, the videos coming kind of circling the same idea. So yeah, that's the idea of this video. Thank you for watching or listening. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.